Hey everyone, this is Nat from Insight to Sight, and it's the 15th of September 2017, and I'm just giving a bit of a update on where everything is at with my eyes. So, you've probably seen on my blog the terribly emotional videos that came through on in April when I was diagnosed with a virus that attacked my left eye. So, yeah, that was brought on by stress and pressure, and it's grossly similar to part of the HPV virus, and it attacked the weakest point in my body, which happened to be my eye. And through the series of unfortunate events at the hospital, they didn't get the right medication to me quick enough, and I lost all my vision. So, pretty much all my vision. I lost all the work that the surgery had done to restore my vision. So, yeah, I pretty much spent 2 months in bed, and I had to pull on all of these tools to get out of complete mental breakdown, really. So I just wanted to share some of them with you. So, basically, I let myself grieve. So grieving is important, and even though people around you might be saying, don't worry about it, it's not the end of the world, the doctor hasn't given a final decision, there'll be hope later, I had lost something, and I had gained vision, and then I lost it like that. So, grieving was important, and I was really lucky that work gave me the space to grieve and let me stay at home while I needed to process all of that. But then to get through that stage and not be stuck in depression, I had to learn to accept what had happened and accept that all of the strategies and things that I was going to do, I'm no longer able to do them in the same way again. So I had to find new strategies to be able to do things. Like, for example, my amazing surfing passion. Unless my eye's fixed, I'm not going to be able to go in the water alone to surf until I have an exceptional amount of practice where I can actually learn to hear the waves and feel the waves, because I can't see the waves. A bit of a danger in Australian ocean. So I did a lot of mindfulness, which I am now extremely passionate about, and it's a massive part of my life and a massive part of my wellness coaching business. And I'm going to be doing mindful programs because it just to snap out of your head, just giving your head 2 minutes or 10 seconds or 5 minutes of peace, it makes the world of difference at that time. And then it builds you up stronger and stronger to be able to handle things better. So, I was very sad and frustrated, and I was angry. I was so angry at so many people. I was angry at the hospital for making the mistake. I was angry at people from work for making me think that things were worse than what they were. And then I was angry at myself for realising it wasn't, they were just doing their jobs, and it was the way I was interpreting it. And then as a Buddhist, you don't try not to have attachment. So I was angry at myself for failing, and I'd just been to meditation retreats, and I know all these things, and why didn't I apply any of them, and how did I let this get out of control? And processing the anger and letting it out is very important. Running or hitting a pillow or just walking up a hill and getting puffed out kind of thing. Whatever works for you is important. Then I had to start reframing all of the negative thoughts and turning them around and, like, well, okay, surfing is a number one goal for me. I may not be able to do it on my own, but there's surfing schools. And hey, like, I might meet a hot guy or an awesome person and become friends with that will be more than happy to teach me to surf or hang out with me in the surf, and I won't have to pay lessons, and so that went from I can't do this on my own to that is true, but I can do it with somebody else. And when it came to driving, I can't drive at night, but I do have a lot of friends that look after me and drive me around. And I also have I can drive during the day, and the buses suck, but, it's an option sort of thing. So, then the next point I wrote down was forgiveness. So after I went through all of the anger, then I realised I actually had to forgive myself because, like, apparently it wasn't exactly my fault and it was just a medical mishap that happened. So it was easier to forgive people at work because they were just doing their job. They didn't directly do anything wrong. Forgiving people at the hospital, and you kind of go into feeling sorry for the nurses because they're so busy that they missed these things. And but forgiving myself was the hardest. And, I have to be honest, some days I wish things were different and I didn't have to have gone through this. I didn't handle life, basically. I spent a good 2 months in total mental breakdown, withdrew from life and friends and withdrew from work and didn't want any of it. So after the forgiveness, then, I started to do gratitude. So I started being grateful for what I actually can do and grateful for what I can see. And then I started working on what I can do to keep my sight. So I started with my mind, body and soul and healing all of those. So that was more mindfulness. I'd go in and out of meditation. Sometimes sitting meditation wasn't working for me, so I'd do a walking meditation. And I really found that if I found a couple of triggers to click me into mindfulness, then that was almost like instant meditation. And breathing techniques, I used breath to pull me back in. And the working on the mind in that aspect was very important. My body, I ate all of my feelings, and you can probably tell I've put on like 7-8 kilos, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're a girl, that's a lot. But I chose to do that, and I chose to eat the way I was feeling. And, when I'm dealing with everything else, the doctors and psychologists sort of said, nah, seriously, worrying about a strict diet when you're going through all this process isn't important. So, and they're right, you're juggling so many other balls that it's just hard to it's just one more restriction. I think I took that free pass a little bit too far though. But that's okay. My body is still healthy, even though it's a little chubby. And soul. So that is the hard bit, interestingly, when you're down. And nourishing your soul is having fun. It's joy. It's finding joy and happiness in your life again. So that, I think out of this whole experience, joy is the bit that I've taken away as has second most important to allowing yourself to grieve. Like, we're just so busy and we get caught up in the have-tos of life that sometimes, like, even when you're hanging out with your friends or you're going for a walk or doing the gardening, an activity that you used to love, because you have to do it, you don't feel the joy. So that's where mindfulness helped me again. And when I'm ready to do my mindfulness programs for clients, I'm definitely going to be bringing joy in. I think, the happier I am, the more I want to exercise, the more I want to be out, the more my face lights up and I get excited and passionate. And then I'm not as hungry and I'm not going for comfort food, So there's this, I know there's the book, The Happiness Trap, because we think that happiness is going to bring us everything, and it doesn't. You can't rely on happiness because we go up and down. But joy, having moments of joy in every day is something I'm so grateful for realizing how special that is. I was reading my notes. So yeah, the fun bit, the joy bit for me was my herbal teas, and doing more with them and growing my herbs and drying them and playing with them and creating and having a moment of like, oh gosh, I've got to do some planning. What herbs can I mix together? And I'll make a memory and cognition tea. And then I'd post it on Facebook and all of my lovely friends would respond, and, it was just fantastic. So, but yeah, it was up until probably the end of July, early August, that I was back at work and I was starting to feel better, but just something was missing. Like, I wasn't depressed. The hope had gone. I had to refigure out how to do life, and I was getting there with that. Work, I couldn't do many hours because of my eyes and mental health. So, and because I was in and out of work a lot, I've been doing more researchy tasks, not the really exciting, frontline jobs that I used to do before the cornea transplant. And I guess in life I just felt undervalued and I started to spiral down a bit again. But the bit that snapped me out of it, which is going to be one of my other core messages to share, is value. The second I felt valued, a light bulb switched. All my friends and family noticed. I stopped calling my dad every day with something sad. I could have something happy. The ironic thing is, I don't know if that's the right word, but it was the smallest thing. So my girlfriend, Rach Wilson, who is one of the co-founders of Spirit for Success, with Therese Tucker, asked me, hey, we're putting a magazine together. I love how you love herbs. Could you write me an article? And someone wanted something that I could offer, and they were happy about it. And it gave me a sense of belonging and value, and I was important again. And that's when I realised that was what was missing from my life. And work are extremely supportive, have given me heaps of assistive software, heaps of training in the assistive software. We've changed my job to try to find things that match better. And when I do a good job, I get told I do a good job. But I just missed that feeling of value. And something so little turned my passion around. And, I'm about to release Wellness with Nat as a business. I've gone from I'll do that 1 year when I'm better. And yeah, later this week I'm releasing Wellness with Nat. Like, what? And I'm actually going to do wellness programs and mindfulness programs, and I'm going to be selling my herbal teas. And this was a girl who 2 months ago was locking herself up in her bedroom and hated life and was drinking more than she needed to and putting herself in compromising positions because I just didn't care. And one little change, and yeah, look at me grow. Um, so yeah, what else? Okay, so it was, yeah, the difference with this Wellness with Nat and the herbal tea articles is that it's following my heart, it's following something passionate, so close to my heart, and I'm always checking in that what I'm doing feels good and it makes me feel happy and content. So I'm not tired and I'm not anxious and nothing's hard. Like everything just flows, everything lines up. People are happy with what I'm saying and I feel great. I want to get out of bed early to plan Wellness with Nat stuff before I go to the office and quickly do a really good job there so that they're happy with me, and then I can say see ya and go home and rest and let my eyes recover, and then if I've got enough energy I can get back into business. So yeah, I still need a lot of sleep and life isn't completely rosy, but if you look at the girl who filmed those videos back in April compared to this pretty smiley face today, who even 8 kilos heavier, the weight sort of doesn't matter when your heart feels good, you know. And I've got some vision back, so I've got double vision, so my glasses aren't full strength because otherwise everything would be perfectly double vision, but it's balancing out enough to stop the headaches that I was getting, the atrocious headaches. I mean, my eyes tired and sore all the time, which wasn't a symptom before the virus. But now that I'm happy and I've got something else to do, and even doing my office job it's a means to an end. This is helping fund this passion of mine. So I want to go to work. I want to do all the things. So yeah, I guess, yeah, all of these learnings I wanted to share with you. And remember, you know, the girl that we saw in April was a tragic mess, and I've picked myself up in not too long at all. So, yeah, if you're ever in a situation like this, you know, send me a message and we'll get in contact because I'm more than happy to help. Okay, stay tuned to my website, and the Wellness with Nat website is going to be launched soon, which this will be all part of. So thank you for continuing to share my journey. Okay, see you later.